Hello everyone, welcome to MBA Karo. My name is Pranav Pant and I have appeared in different MBA entrance examinations and cleared almost all of them. So I have a very fair idea about different MBA entrance examinations, and in this video I am going to tell you what are the pros and cons of different examinations, which exam should you choose to write, and the details about different examinations. So please like this video if you find this information useful. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel for more updates on MBA examinations, and you can also join my Telegram channel which goes by the name MBA Karo. So this is the calendar for the upcoming examinations. Some of the examinations, the forms have been released like NMAT, CAT, SNAP, ZAT. These examinations, the admission process has started in the form of registrations. Okay, and other examinations are yet to be announced, and these are the tentative dates when the examinations are held. Okay, so NMAT, the registration has begun on 1st of August. It will go on till 10th of October. And the examination is held in multiple slots, right? You can choose your slot on what day you want to write. They have different dates given for the examination. Based on that, you can take the test from October 10 to December 19. Okay, CAT is on November 27. SNAP will be held on 3 days, December 10, 18, and 23, and ZAT will be held on January 8. So for these four examinations, the registration process has begun. These are the registration fees. So this is including taxes. This is per attempt, and if you can take up to 3 attempts, so that means you'll have to shed close to 10,000 rupees just for NMAT. Similarly for SNAP, the fees is 1950 per attempt. These are the fees based on previous year's data. This is yet to be released. Maybe in many of these the fees might go up, right? So this is the tentative date. IFT is generally held the next Sunday of CAT. So I have taken that. I am assuming that this time it will be held on 4th of December. And these are the tentative dates in which these examinations could be held this year and the next year. Okay, so now let us discuss about these examinations in detail. What is asked in which examination is the right thing for you. Because if you just total these registration fees, I'm assuming that if you take just these tests once, you will end up spending 20 to 25,000 just on examination forms. So should you write all the examinations, or should you be wise in choosing the examinations and attempt the ones that are relevant? Okay, so the examinations that you must choose depend on your preference, like what field you want to go into. Okay, your aptitude level. Okay, so let's say if you are very good in aptitude, then only you must go for that, right? If your English is very strong, your quantitative aptitude is very strong, then only you should appear for that, because that is very difficult. On the other hand, let's say if you are a non-Maharashtrian candidate, then it will be very difficult for you to get into top colleges in Maharashtra. So MNCT, you should be thinking of that, whether you should appear for MNCT or not. Okay, if you are interested in HRM, then you should go for testnet. Okay, MyCat, if you're interested in marketing communications, then only you should write MyCat. Okay, if your aptitude level is average, you are not that smart in quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning, English, then you could think of, okay, writing NMAT, SNAP, etc. Okay, so we will discuss about all these things, the pros and cons of all these examinations, so that you can make a wise decisions which forms to fill for which examination. So let us begin. First, let's talk about the big daddy, which is CAT. This is the biggest MBA entrance examination in India, written by about 2 lakh people appear for the examination every year. Okay, so the big examination, it comes with very good things like admissions to IIMs. So if you are targeting the IIM tag, you have to appear for CAT. Okay, and there are several other top B schools, right? Even if you do not get into the IIMs, a lot of people talk about that they do not have a great profile, but you should not worry about your profile. There are many other colleges like MDI, FMS, which do not pay a lot of weight to your profile. Okay, so you can target those institutes through CAT with a high score in the examination. Similarly, there are many colleges that you can get, not only tier 1 colleges but also tier 2 colleges. Among, I would say, like out of the top 100 B schools in the country, almost all of them accept CAT scores, except a very few. Okay, so you can target a lot of colleges through CAT. So that is the importance of this examination, and hence a lot of people appear for this examination. Okay, one good thing about the paper is very standard format. Okay, every year maybe they might make some changes in the pattern, but it is standard. Like if there are two slots or it is conducted in three slots, all paper will have almost similar difficulty level. The paper is error free. It's a very disheartening thing for candidates if they appear for an examination, solve a question, spend time on a question, and then realize that question was incorrect. For the past few years, CAT has been error free, so that's a very good thing about this examination. There is fair normalization in the examination. So even if your slot turns out to be difficult, they have a very scientific process for scaling up your scores for difficult slots and scaling down the scores for uh, the easy slots, so that there is no unfair thing in the marking. On the flip side, it is a very difficult examination. If you see the DILR section, it is the most challenging section, the most challenging thing that you have ever faced in any examination. Then the verbal ability section also has RCs from different genres, which people do not generally read. So it becomes a quite challenging paper, difficult paper to crack. Then there is sectional timing and sectional cutoffs. Many of the good institutes, in fact, most of them, ask for sectional cutoffs as well. Okay, so one needs to have a balanced code card in the three sections in order to do well in CAT. If you are preparing for CAT 2022 and you are midway your preparation and want to accelerate your preparation in the last 3 months and looking for a crash course for the same, you can enroll in my crash course. I'll be mentoring you for CAT, and this will include live classes, doubt solving, and personalized mentorship. And apart from classes, you will be given practice sheets, etc. So if you wish to enroll in this crash course, you can connect with me on WhatsApp or Telegram. Now let's talk about NMAT, the examination which starts the MBA entrance examination season every year. So NMAT will start from 10th of October this year. That is going to be the first examination for the season. Right. So talking about this examination, it is comparatively easy when you compare with respect to CAT. Okay, there is a standard paper pattern. It is conducted by GMAT, the organization that conducts GMAT. Okay, so it has an adaptive marking system, very standard paper, error-free paper. Then you can attempt this paper three times. Okay, so if you are not satisfied your score, you can take it again and take it again. But NMIMS and NMIMS and KJ Somaya will accept only first attempt. That is the drawback. Okay, there are other institutes that will accept other attempts as well. Okay, there is no negative marking in the paper. It is an adaptive marking system. So if you solve questions incorrectly in the beginning, you may not be able to achieve a very high score. So that is about NMAT, good things. The bad thing is there are only few top institutes that you can target through this examination, unlike CAT where you have plenty full of institutes. Then the biggest drawback of this examination that it is a very costly process. So you can see that examination fee was 2,800. Okay, including taxes, I applied for the form. Including taxes, it is 3,304. Right, so it is like including taxes. So if you fill the form three times, then you have to spend close to 10,000 rupees. Then if you want to retake the examination, you have to fill again. If you want to reschedule the examination, if you have to fill college forms, then again you have to pay for that. If you have to appear for GDPI, again you have to pay fees. So you have to pay a lot of fees in the process. Not only this, the colleges like NMAMS and KJ, they have high fee structure. So that's a big dent on your pocket. Okay, so that is the biggest disadvantage. The fee part is the drawback of this examination. Now, talking about the next examination, which is SNAP, which started recently, which registration has also begun recently. It is also an easy paper. It can be taken up to three times. Last year, they allowed you two attempts. Now they have allowed three attempts. There is no sectional cutoff. That is a good advantage of this. So if we talk about the structure, so we have 15 questions in VARC. Okay, then quantitative aptitude, you have 20 questions, and LR there are 25 questions, so there are 60 questions in all. And the cutoff for the top institute, that is SIBM Pune, is somewhere around 43 to 45. Okay, so even if you do well in these two sections, your verbal ability is not good, you may crack the examination. So that's a good point for the people who are not good at verbal ability but very good in the other two sections. They can get into Symbiosis Pune, okay, which is again one of the tier 1 colleges in the country. So this is one another advantage. Then only few colleges through SNAP, only the Symbiosis universities. And the biggest disadvantage of this examination is there is no normalization. So for the past 2 years, this has been the complaint that the difficulty level of the paper was not consistent. Okay, so let's say the first slot was easy, second was moderate, and the third was difficult. Okay, so they take your absolute score. So there is no normalization. So if you appeared on this slot, if you appeared in this slot, then you had an advantage. Okay, and if you appeared in this slot, there was a disadvantage. Okay, so the difficulty level was not constant, and they did not normalize the scores. So that is why many students complained about this examination for the past 2 years. Talking about the next examination, that is IIFT, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, one of the top institutes in the country, among the top 15 institutes. Then you get admission to this college, and this examination has fewer test takers, not like CAT where 2 lakh people appear. Here, around 30,000 people appear for the examination. But yes, there is only one institute that they are targeting. Okay, so obviously the competition is difficult. There is no sectional timing in the paper, but the overall paper is very lengthy and difficult. So it is about handpicking the right set of questions and doing them so that you obtain a desirable score in the examination. Okay, the disadvantage is that it is only for one institute. So if you are targeting only IFT, then only you have to appear for this examination. And as I said, that the paper is lengthy and difficult. So please go through past year papers to evaluate the difficulty level of the examination. And if your aptitude is not up to that mark, I would advise not to appear for this examination, because it's just for one institute, difficult paper, and high competition. Then the paper has four sections, and you have to clear sectional cutoff in all four sections, especially the GK section, which bothers many students because they prepare for quant, reasoning, verbal ability, preparing for different examinations. But when it comes to GK, they are not well prepared, and a lot of students face this challenge to clear the sectional cutoff. So that is the thing about this, that four sectional cutoffs and a difficult paper. Let's talk about the most difficult examination for MBA entrance in India, that is XAT. Okay, like it is way above CAT. Okay, so if you thought CAT was difficult, that is even more difficult. See past year papers and you will realize. So, one good thing about this examination is there are large number of participating institutes. Apart from the Xavier institutes, there are several other institutes that accept ZAT scores as well. Another good feature is very standard pattern and error-free paper. So you do not realize that, do not feel that okay, you spend time on solving a question and you eventually got it wrong. So that is not the case here. Very standard format, very error-free paper. Then the cons of this paper is very high difficulty. So again, if your aptitude is not very strong, if you are not that good at verbal ability, if you are not great at quantitative aptitude, and there is one section, decision making, which is unique for this examination, and it is quite challenging. So if you've not practiced that well, please do not think of writing this examination. It would be just a waste of money for you, because it is a difficult examination, very very difficult to crack, and sectional cutoffs as well. So in all three sections you have to score well in order to crack the sectional cutoffs. Next examination let's talk about is MyCat. Now MyCat is not, it's a sort of underrated examination, not known to many people. MICA is Mudra Institute of Communications, Ahmedabad, is one of the best institutes in the country when it comes to marketing communications. Okay, if you see the alumni, they are working in great institutes at positions related to branding, advertising, etc. The examination is held twice a year, December and January. You can attempt in both, like if you happen not to score well in one of the examinations, you can appear for the second time as well. It is only for MICA, not for any other or other institute. One thing about the examination, since very few people appear for the examination, not many people know that this examination is also very difficult. If I tell you, last year the paper had 8 options. Think of reading comprehension passages. If you are presented with 8 options, it becomes very, very difficult to answer the question correctly. The probability of getting an answer right is 1 by 8. Okay, so it is a difficult examination since it is not known by many people. So they do not know that it is how difficult it is. The questions, the aptitude section is difficult. Then it also contains psychometric test and descriptive paper. So psychometric is you just need to be natural, but for descriptive paper you need additional preparation. You need to be creative. They give you some pictures and you have to build a story out of that. So they test your creativity as well in this examination. So this requires additional preparation. Then, if you are targeting MICA, they want CAT, ZAT, or GMAT score. One of the three scores is mandatory to get admission. So, you should appear for this examination only if you are interested in marketing communications. If that is your dream, you should write this examination. But for that, you will have to appear in one of these two exam or these three examinations, and then subsequently appear for MyCat. Since the paper is difficult, the cutoffs are quite low. So do not worry about the cutoff part. Okay. So this is for the ones who are interested in marketing. Then comes TISNET. So you see all greens, good examination, right? One of the best institutes for HRM. So if you talk about human resource management, like you can compare it with XLRI. Okay, almost comparable to XLRI. Then it offers great return on investment, very low fees, very decent packages offered. So that is a big advantage. The biggest disadvantage which people think of for Indian MBA is the fees. Usually the range of fees is 15 to 20 lakhs for most of the institutes. So if you get to do an MBA at a very not it is actually not MBA, it is MA in HRM. It is not MBA, okay, but it is equivalent to MBA in HRM. Then there is relatively easier paper. There is no negative marking, no sectional timing. The disadvantage is that there is a section which is GK. So if we talk about the paper, it has 30 questions in VARC, 30 in quant and LR, although it is mostly quant, very few questions of LR, 40 questions of GK. Now these two sections are easy to moderate. Okay, this is something that it is, you can call it moderate to difficult depending on how much well read you are, how much you prepare GK. So GK is the game changer here. So you need to prepare very well for GK in order to crack this examination. And this examination again is for only one institute, that is Tata Institute of Social Sciences. Then let's talk about another examination, another popular examination. A lot of people appear for this examination, which is CMAT. It is a very easy examination. They give you 3 hours to attempt 100 questions. Most of the questions are of easy difficulty level. Okay, so easy paper. There are a lot of participating institutes. Mostly these institutes are, see, there are a lot of institutes, but most of them are tier 2 and tier 3. So very few institutes of tier 1 and mostly of tier 2 and tier 3. So let's say if your target is not like, if you believe that you cannot achieve the target of getting into the top institutes, and you are happy studying in a tier 2 institute, then this is an examination which you could target, because there are a lot of institutes that accept CMAT scores. There are certain disadvantages, and these are very severe ones. Then there is no standard paper pattern. By what I mean by this is, let us say there are two, the paper is conducted in two slots, slot 1 and slot 2. Slot 1 might have 14 questions of RC. Okay, the second slot might have 5 questions on RC. One slot might have 2 to 3 fill in the blanks. Other slot might have 10 questions on fill in the blanks. Okay, there is no standard. Maybe there is one of the slots might have data interpretation, 2 questions on data interpretation. Another slot might not have. So there is no standard format of this paper. Okay. Then second thing is, there are frequent errors in the paper. So it is quite evident, like every year 3 to 4 questions they have errors. So that again becomes a buzz every year. Then last year there were instances of cheating in the examination. Okay, which is very unfortunate. That should not have happened. So a lot of students reported this thing, and this was reflected in the scorecards as well. People scoring 70 out of 80 in GK, which was very very random GK. So very likely that these people must have cheated by using some electronic devices, or like asked answers among themselves. Even in the center which in which I appeared for the examination, I could see people discussing the questions. So that was a very unfortunate incident, and it happened at multiple places. So these are certain things. The quality measures are not great in this examination. Let's next talk about Maharashtra CET. It is again, it's a state based examination, so slightly different from other examinations which are nationalized examinations. There are a lot of participating institutes, some of them really great institutes as well. The paper is of moderate difficulty level, so if your aptitude is average, you can target this examination. There is no negative marking, so you have that chance. Okay, if you mark flukes in the examination and try your luck, maybe you can get a better score in the examination. Now, the disadvantages of the examination, the first and foremost disadvantage is uncertainty in the examination. So earlier it used to be held in March, April. Okay, but post COVID, last year it was held in September. Like if you talk about 2020, it was held in March. Okay, now in 2021, one can understand that yes, there was COVID, but it was held in September. In 2022, the dates were earlier announced for June, right? But it was not held in June, it was held in August. So a lot of uncertainty, it gets delayed, the process is very slow. So if you compare other people, let's say like the examination was conducted recently, so by the time people would take admission to the institutes, other the batchmates like of other institutes must have already covered a decent portion of their syllabus, so you lag behind in that thing. Okay, so that is one big disadvantage for the past 2 years. Then there is non-standard paper pattern. So this time it was conducted in 5 slots, and the difficulty level was uneven. Right, all the slots were uneven. Some being very easy, some being very difficult. In some slots, you had very few questions of puzzles. On the other, you had a lot of questions on puzzles. They had picked questions from CAT and inserted into the paper. There were very very a lot of uncertainties in the examination. So this was the case this year. Even last year there was the same issue. Before that it was conducted by IBPS, then it used to be a standard paper. But for the past 2 years there have been a lot of uncertainties, not only in the in conducting the paper, but also in the questions that have been asked in the examination. Then another disadvantage, if you are a non-Maharashtra candidate, Remember that there is 85% reservation for Maharashtra candidates. So non-Maharashtra candidates have only 15% seats. So you, if you are a non-Maharashtra candidate, you should not be this should not be your primary examination. This could be your plan B, an alternate examination which you can target. Since this is uncertain, you have very few seats for admission. So make sure that you target other examination. This should be your secondary examination that you must be targeting. Let's not talk about one of the examinations which is now fading away, almost fading away. Very few people appear for this examination, which is MAT. It is held 4 times in a year. It's a moderate paper, so 4 times it is held in September, it is held in December, Feb, and May. There are very few institutes that accept MAT scores. Very few good institutes, right? Mostly tier 2 and tier 3 institutes accept MAT score. So it is just that if you just want to do MBA for the sake of doing an MBA from any XYZ institute, then you can think of appearing in this examination. So this examination is losing its importance, and not many people write this examination now. Now let's talk about an interesting examination, PGDBA, which is not for MBA, which is post graduation diploma in business analytics, which is a skill in very high demand. Okay, so like if you talk about business analytics, like they are very high paid people. Business analysts are very high. You can expect very high growth in this. So if you enter into conventional management roles versus a business analyst role, you can expect to grow multiple times in the second case, right? So a very high demand thing. So you must understand that this is the right time that you can venture into this field. This is going to be in demand in the future as well. So you could think of targeting this examination. Plus, a very good thing about this examination is that you do not, like for this course, is that you do not study in one institute, but you study in three institutes, which are experts in their three different fields. So you learn management from IIM Calcutta, one of the top institutes in the country, top three institutes. IIT Kharagpur, that is one of the best tech institute, so you learn about coding and all those tech related stuff. And ISI Kolkata, you learn statistics, the best institute in the country for statistics. So you learn three great skills from three of the best institutes in the country. So isn't it a great opportunity? So very few people apply for this thing because the paper is difficult. Okay, so we'll talk about that thing, the disadvantage. But the advantage is that you get pedagogy from one of the best institutes, one of the best teachers. You get a skill which is in very high demand in the industry. So you must think of targeting this examination. The con that might be, but now this will be beneficial to the engineers and all because it asks higher mathematics. Okay, so unlike other examinations where you are asked just like arithmetic, geometry, here you are asked calculus and other stuff as well. So you might have to cover like class 11th and 12th mathematics uh, in order to crack this examination. So one examination that should be in your radar if you are good at mathematics, statistics, and all that, you could think of targeting this examination because you get very good prospects if you get into this. Next examination, another underrated examination is SRCC GPO. Very few people, just 2,500 to 2,500 to 3,000 people appear for this examination. The paper is moderate in nature. Now, the thing is, the good thing which people do not know about SRCC is it offers a very good return on investment. So fees is just around 3 lakhs. Okay, so like if you compare, you won't be getting very high packages, but if you comparatively compare with, let us say, if you do not get a very good B school through CAT, ZAT, or other examinations, you can think of targeting this examination because if you think in ROI terms. Okay, so even if you do not get a very high package, you get an like above average package at a very low fees. That's a good thing. And the good thing about this examination, this is held somewhere in around March, April. So by the time you have appeared for all examinations, you have realized that you have not done well in those examinations. आपका कैट बेकार चला गया, जैट नहीं हुआ, other exams did not go well. This is one good hope, one last hope that you can target. And the syllabus is the same, right? It asks you data interpretation, quantitative aptitude, reasoning ability, and verbal ability. So moderate paper, not very difficult, an examination which you can think of once you are done with all examinations. Maybe this may not be your primary target at this stage, but keep this examination in mind that it is one of the examinations which is held, and SRCC is a brand in itself. It's a part of Delhi University, great institute, offers good return on investment. But this examination is for only one institute. So this is about different MBA entrance examinations, and what are the details, what are the pros and cons of each of the examinations I discussed in this video. If you are preparing for other MBA entrance examinations, if you think that okay, especially if your target is JBIMS and you want to prepare for CMAT and Maharashtra CT for 2023, I am launching a course for the same. So it will include preparation for CMAT, MHCT. It will also help you prepare for TISNET and others, because it will cover for CMAT. I'll be covering quant, LR, BA, GK, and then you have innovation and entrepreneurship. Now, these sections will help you in TISNET as well. And for Maharashtra CT, apart from these three, abstract reasoning will also be covered. So this course will be a complete course for other MBA entrance examinations, like CMAT. Like it can also help you cover SNAP and others. Okay. So if you wish to enroll in this course, you can connect with me over Telegram or WhatsApp. So please subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed yet, and you can also join my Telegram channel and connect with me for more updates on MBA entrance examinations. I hope you found this video useful. You got the relevant information for different examinations. And after watching this video, I am sure that you will make wise decision while filling the application forms. You will decide that whether you should apply for this examination or not based on your competencies, based on the opportunities that you get through these examinations. So thank you for watching this video. And if you really enjoyed watching the video, please do like it.